I'm Dave Palumbo, and I'm about to give you a little glimpse into my world. This is my life. All right, I'm back again, and I have another tip for the day for you. And I talk a lot about probiotic supplements for helping with a variety of different problems that we have in the gut, related to toxicity, related to good health, related to mental focus and clarity, and just living a long time and feeling good about yourself and feeling good as far as physically goes. What are probiotics? Well, probiotics are good, beneficial bacteria that live in our colons, in our intestinal tract. And they create a barrier along the colon. Okay? Not only do we have the colon wall, but we have this barrier of bacteria that line the wall, known as the probiotic or beneficial bacteria. You know, taking antibiotics, eating certain foods, certain environmental toxins we're exposed to can destroy these bacteria. Now, these bacteria number up to 20 pounds of your body weight is comprised of these bacteria. So there's a junk load of these things in there, a tremendous amount. And when they start to disappear, what happens is the intestinal wall becomes very vulnerable to insult from foreign invading bacteria, foreign invading viruses, fungal type cells, yeast. And these things get through because the beneficial bacteria are not there acting as a guard, so to speak, on the intestinal wall. Once these bacteria can invade, or even foodstuffs can invade and get through the wall of the colon, now the immune system has to go after these agents. And what happens is the immune system oftentimes overreacts and creates havoc in the body. That can cause brain fog, meaning that you get cloudiness of your thoughts. A lot of people think that could be one of the reasons for autism in children. Other things that can result is chronic inflammation in the body. Okay. In other words, when the immune system is constantly incited, we have a lot of inflammatory processes that go on. And we know that this is linked to cancer and heart disease and arthritis and all these other ailments. As well, we see food allergies. People who have a lot of food allergies, it's because the immune system is overreacting to foodstuffs that are getting through the gut. Now, this condition is also known as leaky gut syndrome, meaning the reason they call it this is because the gut is allowing food to pass through, and then the immune system is launching attacks to it. All this would not occur if the gut beneficial bacteria, the probiotic organisms there, would be intact. So there's a couple things we can do to restore this. Number one is we can stop it from ever happening, but unfortunately, shit happens, as we know. So there's different ways to repopulate the colon. Okay, now there's a lot of probiotic supplements that they sell out on the market, and a lot of them are just cheap stuff, and you're basically taking dead bacteria. Probably one of the best probiotics that I've used in a supplemental form, I dare I say, is something I got from Custom Probiotics. And you can go on customprobiotics.com. You can order different strains of bacteria. This one happens to be the 6th strain bacteria. Now, why I bought this, I don't know, because it was the most strains in one formula, I guess. I thought I was getting a lot for my money. I bought a 60-day supply, and I did 60 days straight. And what I did was I take a little, you keep this in the refrigerator, by the way. It comes in a little scooper. You take a little scoop of this stuff. You add it to some water, okay? Mix it up nice and good. And it has basically a neutral taste. It has a strong smell. What it reminds me of the smell is when I was in microbiology lab and we would culture bacteria. They had a certain specific smell, and this is similar to that. It's not gonna mix like a whey protein, but it'll get into suspension, and then you just gulp it down. I'm good at that. And you do that on an empty stomach. Usually I do that either first thing in the morning, you can do it first thing before you go to bed, or sometime in the middle of the day when you normally wouldn't be eating foods. Now, this is a little expensive, this product, so sometimes people don't want to spend the money on this, and, they wind up buying cheaper forms that don't do anything. If you're worried about cost, the bang for your buck is to get probiotics in the form of foods. Pickled foods specifically, like pickles, but more specifically sauerkraut, if it's made correctly, is a great way to get millions, actually not even millions, billions of cultures of these good probiotic organisms. Because what they do is they take cabbage and they culture it. Now, I went to the health food store the other day and I found a brand of sauerkraut that I think is the best one I've ever tasted. It's called Bubbie's. Now, if you zoom in here, camera woman, okay, you can get a picture of Bubbie here. Bubbie, for those of you who don't know, is a Jewish word for a grandmother. I remember my mom's grandmother used to be called Bubbie, and that was what they called her. I didn't know what that meant, but later on I found that that's the name for a Jewish grandmother. Well, this is Bubbie's sauerkraut, and she makes this gluten-free. It's made with tons of live cultures, and you can get it at bubbies.com or any health food store sells it. Now, what I usually do is I usually mix it in with my rice and my chicken or my rice and my fish. And this stuff is not like the typical sauerkraut you get at Nathan's, okay? This is stuff you got to specially cultured. You put a little on the plate, and you can mix it in with your food, but I'm going to show you how good this is. I can eat it plain. It doesn't have any of that really bitter taste to it. The sauerkraut is not soggy. It's crunchy. And, I normally with sauerkraut, I couldn't eat it like this. I would just kind of like swallow it like I did the shake, the thing I just drank before. But this stuff is really good. And I promise you, if you do this for a couple of weeks straight, you're going to repopulate all those good beneficial bacteria in your colon, and you're not going to have to worry about it anymore. And then what I would do is try to eat maybe 2 to 3 times a week a serving of this sauerkraut. And moving forward, you're going to have a healthy colon. Your head's going to be clear. You're going to be healthy. And don't forget, always combine a good probiotic with a good fiber supplement. You can check out my fiber lies at speciesnutrition.com. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.